So next Tag Rugby video, we're still on offense. Okay, so we've covered that basically we want large passing from the dummy half, and we want our players to be back from the dummy half so they can like basically come on with speed. Okay, now what we're going to discuss is maybe some like just alternate moves you may want to pull off during the game. What happens if your standard moves go wrong? So let's imagine, okay, we have of the ball is just about to be rolled back. The guys are coming. The guys see the offensive line see that the dummy half has the ball. Okay, and the defense are now starting to react. Now, what you need from your team is you need your offensive line. Okay, you need them coming on with pace. So they're coming on fast, okay? Maybe even running slightly diagonal just to get further distance away from the marker. The ball gets thrown out, okay? In which time the defensive line is coming up. Now, one of the worst things I sometimes see in the game is basically just people who just they don't run straight, they just run diagonal, okay? So what happens when you run diagonal is basically, I've covered this recently as well, is you're just going to run into your two defenders, okay? So you're going to run into your attackers, okay? So there's basically no speed. In fact, sometimes you can run across the markers that you're trying to avoid, okay? So and basically the other markers coming back, okay? You might have the dummy half. The dummy half might be in behind you now, okay? Now, what sometimes you can do, okay? So sometimes you can do basically the space is very congested and it's going to be very hard to get through, okay? So what we might do instead, okay, if we go back to the beginning, or just at this point here, okay, so sometimes when you're running across, okay, if you're the attacker, okay, whose position has now been taken up by the ball handler, okay, you have a choice, and your two choices are you're directly behind your ball handler, okay, and you're going, okay, I was running there, you ran across me, what am I going to do here, okay? So these guys are looking to come in and make the tag, okay? So sometimes what happens is you need to do what's maybe called a switch. Now you have two choices, okay? You can sometimes go, let's say you could go down this way here, okay? And what the bad thing about that idea is that if your winger is doing the job, okay, is doing their job, they'll already be there, okay? And by you going in there, you're working with a narrow space, okay? So basically your winger's already there. Now what this guy is looking to do, if you are to cross over your own players, alright, you're looking to draw in two defenders, okay? You're hoping that you're going to draw in at least two defenders. And these guys are moving diagonal left, okay? So this guy here has just run straight across. He's drawn this defender in. So what you can do, instead of running this way, you can do what's called a switch, alright? So you're going to burst in here, okay? You're going to make a switch, okay? So you're going to just make a run here. You can see there's plenty of space to be had. Okay, you're going to make a run. The gap is reasonably big. The ball can come in, and then you can run straight through, okay? That's like a difficult move to make. Sort of, you get a feel for it when you try it over time. But it's just about making the right decision when somebody cuts across you, okay? Now, another example I commonly see is on the wing. So the ball has to start off play. Now, it's very much the winger is basically going to be responsible for making the call here, right? There can be two calls. The ball gets thrown out quite fast. Let's say the defense is caught a little, okay? So yeah, the ball is thrown out. Okay, first pass, this defender is here. Second pass is made, okay? And basically it's further up the pitch at this stage, right? Now, if you imagine the ball handler, okay, is cutting across, okay, so which often happens. Some guys try to run across here, okay. Now, what some wingers sometimes don't get is that, like, if the ball handler is here, okay, with the ball, if the ball handler is here with the ball, there's nowhere for you to go but out, because he's going to run across you. You can see that he's running fast enough that he ain't going to be stopping anytime soon. So what you need to sometimes make the call is making a diagonal run instead. So making your run inside, so you're not in each other's space. So basically you should call the switch again. So this ball handler here is running down the wing inside, and then you make your run in, you call inside. You might even say which shoulder, left shoulder in this case. Ball comes into you. Now obviously the other markers are going to be moving as well, but you know, it just makes it a bit easier to picture, and you can run through that way as opposed to trying to go down the very narrow region that's there, okay?